basically in stabilization, if you don't have a crisis plan, an explicit crisis plan, now's the time to co-create one with your client. It means, okay, who am I calling first? Can I call you first? Well, yes, you can call me first. Please do not be your client's only support, okay? So I tell my clients, you can absolutely call me and I will get back to you within, say, probably 8 hours and maybe 10 hours. But it says 24 on my recording. But I generally get back to people as soon as I can, but they don't expect to hear from me when they're in crisis. They know what they have to do. They can call me and wait for me to call them back, but they have to do everything else first. Meaning, what's the next thing? Okay, so you'll call your sister. What if she's not home? You'll call your friend. What if she's not home? I'll go next door and I'll take care of the puppy over there. Then what? I'll take a cool shower. I'll put some ice water on my face. And if that, okay, and if you're still in crisis, then what do? I'll go out for a walk, and then what do? Then I'm going to put my iPod on, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to go to the crisis unit. Okay, so I'm going to the emergency room. I'm going to the emergency room or to the nearest crisis unit, and then they'll call you. They'll be in touch with you, and I'll talk to you then. That is a crisis plan. I think that when we talk about the crisis plan before, it might be a good time just to go over it. Do you remember all the things we talked about, or?
Yeah, and we talked about I can like write in my journal or go for a walk. I can call you and ask you to call me back. I can call my sister. I can call Lindsay. And that's all I remember.
Well, I remember the one thing was that you like to put on those fleece, big heavy fleece sweatshirts that felt soft for you.
Yeah.
The other thing is, of course you can call me. And the thing about calling me is, I mean, I hear therapists say to me all the time, I can't believe you give your cell number out. And the fact is, you can call my cell anytime you want. You know that I'm in session or I'm out a lot. So it's not that I'm going to be the one that's going to be able to take you to crisis. If you need to go to crisis, you need to take yourself there or have somebody take you or call 911. But if you do that, if it ends up that you have to go in the hospital, you do call me, right, and let me know where you are.
Right.
And if you don't need to go to the hospital and you just want to talk to me, leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, you know, but knowing that you have all these other things to do in the meantime, you know.
Right.
So you'll do all the other things, and I think that you told me once that it was helpful just to call.
Yeah, it is. Like just to be able to hear your voice and to leave you a message, like that feels like a little bit of relief.
How so?
Because it's like having contact with you. Like I know that you're going to get the message, and so I'm connected to you when I leave the message.
Okay.
And then I make up that you're connected to me when you hear the message. And it doesn't matter when you hear it. It just is like, it just feels like, you know, because I know you'll listen.
Okay. Well, of course I will. And that was the only thing I was saying was people get all bent because they think, oh, that I have no, you know, that I would have to answer the call immediately. And I think just that you know that I am somebody, I'm on your list, and I can be the first one you call. And then all the rest of the things you do too until you hear from me.
Right.
You know. Regardless of what your boundaries are with your clients, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter, I don't think, to anybody if you have very tight boundaries or you have very loose boundaries, as long as they're set into place for a reason, they're explicit, and if these boundaries change, they changed for a reason, and you have collaborated with your client in order to know what that, you know, in order to know what the new boundary is and why it changed and if it's going to change again, because expectation is what it is. If a client expects that you're going to call them back right away, or if they're going to expect that they can get you in the middle of the night, and they can sometimes, we're back to the inconsistency, which probably they grew up with in the parenting. So basically what I do is I have my clients pretty much from the very beginning know that they are not going to hear from me. But in DBT, it's a very different population. When you have borderline personality disorder, the therapists that work with this population have a different set, I want to say different criteria for what they do with their clients, what's acceptable and what's not. I've been told that Marsha Lenahan, she gives her home phone number to clients, so I've taken to giving Marsha Lenahan's home number to my clients now, so they have someone to call that's going to answer.